Preface. Whereas marriage is the oldest union established by God, and whereas many of these marriages are formally classified and labeled as Christian marriages, in quotes, it is rather an indisputable truth that most participants in these marriages have not the slightest understanding and comprehension of the mystery and depth of the sanctity of marriage, which is at the heart of the union God painstakingly formed. Most marriages are hurriedly jumped into due to fleshly lusts and selfish interests and considerations, while some are grossly wallowing in bitterness, discord, conflict, division, strife, and even outright and shameful defilement of that which God has ordained and commanded to be one, indivisible, inseparable, sacred, and inviolable. It is rather sad to state the obvious that the only resemblance most Christian marriages bear with Christ is on the paper they are written. Outwardly, these marriages profess to be of God, but in actual works, they deny God and put him to shame among the heathen. Brethren, this ought not to be so. As the light of God on this earth, our marriages should present a clear distinction between us and unbelievers. We should live what we profess to be, Christians, Christ-like, the light of the world, who must shine brightly to the glory of our God. As it is written, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. Again, beloved, I beg you, as sojourners and pilgrims, Christians, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul, having your conduct honorable among the Gentiles, that when they speak against you as evildoers, they may, by your good works which they observe, glorify God in the day of visitation. 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. It is certainly true that one is known by what he does, not just what he says. As the Apostle Paul pointedly stated, "Indeed, you are called a Jew or Christian, and rest on the law, and make your boast in God, and know his will, and approve the things that are excellent, being instructed of the law, and are confident that you yourself are a guide to the blind, a light to those who are in darkness, an instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes, having the form of knowledge and truth in the law. You therefore who teach another, do you not teach yourself? You who preach that a man should not steal, do you steal? You who say, do not commit adultery, do you commit adultery? You who abhor idols, do you rob temples? You who make your boast in the law, do you dishonor God through breaking the law? For the name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles because of you." Romans chapter 2, verses 17 to 24. Unfortunately, many Christian marriages exist in strict conformity with the popular and accepted notion of the world that marriages are mere contracts, subject to repudiation at will, even at the appearance of any inconvenience or perception of a new or greener pasture elsewhere. Although some of these marriages superficially exist, they have in reality become marriages in hell due to absence of sanctity of marriage. I dare to state that most societal ills are primarily traceable to breakdown of the biblical, moral, and God-fearing families due to gross ablation of God's solid marriage foundation of sacredness, oneness, indivisibility, and inviolability. A marriage devoid of understanding of this spiritual foundation is a marriage doomed for failure. Though it may exist superficially, it is dead while it pretends to live. This booklet, presents a spiritual appeal to all children of God to redeem that which is specially sacred and cherished by God before it is too late. It is an urgent call to shun the tradition of the world and return to the old path that leads to righteous living, which is the source of God's peace and joy that surpasses all understanding. As it is written, "Thus says the Lord, stand in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths, where the good is, and walk in it. Then you will find rest for your souls." Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 16. May God help us all.